We're a team, and there's nothing to worry about. We come here, and we're going to conquer, and we're going to take some. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
That's what we're going to do, sweetheart. We are going to go and get some. All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! What are you? What are you? Hudson! Get on the ready line, Marine! Get some today! Get on the ready line! Yo! Move it up! Move it up, goddammit! Get hot! 1, 2, 3! Come on, get out! Get out! Get out! Move it up! 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 1, 2, 3, 4! Absolutely badasses! Let's pack them in!
That place, man.
Move! Move!
Tango, straight ahead! Runner, kill it!
Light him up! Warrior, inside! Grenade! Shit, man! Ah! Fire! Marine, down!
Hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal!
Welcome everyone, it's Facehugger Friday, and you know what that means. We continue our playthrough of Alien's Dark Descent. But before we get into this, I have a small favor to ask. If you enjoy this kind of content, or if you're a huge Xenomorph fan, please subscribe. It's a small click for you, but a big click for me, and your support for the channel really helps me out, and it means more to me than you'll ever know. Now, let's grab our pulse rifles and smart guns, let's suit up in our armor, and let's send in these colonial marines, and let's go bug hunting. So, full disclosure, this is the hardest game I've ever played. I've never died so much in a video game, other than like a Soulsborne or Elden Ring style Souls-like game. I've never died this much in a video game. Like, I think, you know what, I'm just going to go in, get a little half an hour of footage. 2.5 hours later, I need to take a break just from the utterly crushing defeat that is Alien's Dark Descent. Like, this game's hard. When they warn you at the beginning that it's a hard game, like, that's an understatement. This game is hard. The mechanics is what makes it hard. Like, it's just like everything's happening in real time. Like, you got to think on your feet. But you know what? We're going to finish this game. We're not going to let the Xenomorph win. We are going to beat this game. But with Romulus, Aliens Romulus out, like, I also wanted to talk about Prometheus. One of the, I don't really consider it an Alien prequel, but I guess it falls under that category. It's more kind of like an origin story, but not really. I feel like it was marketed wrong. It got a lot of hate because people were expecting another Alien movie, and spoilers, you don't really see any kind of alien type creature until the very, very end. And I'm pretty sure they called that creature the Deacon, which was like the first of its kind in a sense. But it was really all about trying to answer the question, like, where do we come from, in meeting our maker. So like, there's kind of like a lot of controversy around the story, because if like you haven't seen it, the story is this race of aliens called the Engineers. They created this mutagen black kind of goo that when mixed with their DNA was able to create life. And then like they were leaving little clues around the entire Earth to kind of just like a star map to go kind of meet them. But the Engineers kind of viewed the human race as a failed creation, so they're going to go wipe them out. But before we get that, there's a lot more to the story there. It's like people were expecting an Alien movie, and I'm pretty sure even Ridley Scott said he wasn't going to put the alien in it. And I'm pretty sure I read an interview where he didn't even want to kind of tie it to the Alien universe. But they ended up doing it. It's more kind of like a story about the Engineers and the space jockey from like the first Alien movie. But in the interview, he even said, like, I thought people were just sick of seeing that damn alien, so I didn't include it in this one, but it turns out that's all they wanted. So then we kind of got like the deacon at the end of the movie, and they kind of had to take the story of Prometheus and kind of turn it into somewhat of an alien origin movie. But it kind of got a lot of flack and hate because it really wasn't an alien movie that people were expecting. So Prometheus is one of those movies where you either love it or you hate it. There isn't really anybody in between that's just like, it wasn't that good, but I can appreciate what they were doing. I'm a fan of it. I think it's an interesting take on kind of trying to explain the engineers, but giving us something different without having to rely on the Xenomorph, which, based on the reviews, is apparently like what the whole franchise needs to rely on. It's like, if there isn't an alien in your movie and you attach it to the Alien kind of saga or franchise, it's just going to fail. So the movie really heavily focuses on that bioengineered organic weapon that the engineers created to kind of wipe out all of existence. And that's what kind of like you see in Alien Romulus, is they're really experimenting with that. So that movie kind of paid a little bit of like Easter egg respect to Prometheus without getting too in depth in Prometheus. And that's also what Alien Covenant really focuses on as well, is David takes who's the synthetic, the android, he takes that black goo from the ship, and then he starts realizing that it has very highly mutagenic properties, and it creates a lot of mutations. And so like he was able to kind of engineer a life form out of that black goo there through just like manipulation of science and gene manipulation from like the life on the planet and all sorts of different things. And that was kind of like the very first sequel or prequel that you actually got to see an alien in it, and a couple different species and like evolution of it. You got like I think they're called like the Xenomorphs, and then the one that hatches out of the captain, it wasn't like a Xenomorph, but like it was a different kind of like a different strain or breed before it was kind of really evolved into the Xenomorph that we got from the first Alien movie. But Prometheus was fine. It was a decent movie. Like, if you go in knowing what you're going to see and you don't have your expectations set up high that like you're going to see it's going to be like another kind of like alien body horror kind of like gore film, then it's just like it's a good ride. There are a lot of, I would probably say, like stupid decisions where the guy mapping the entire engineer complex, you know, he's got these like pups and they get lost, but yet he's got this thing that's literally mapped out the entire thing. So you've got a map in this little communicator on your wrist, this little computer there. How the fuck do you get lost when you literally just map the entire place? So it's just kind of like there's some stupid moments that don't really make sense, and a lot of people also kind of just like gave it like a poor review because the technology in that movie was far more advanced than the technology that they had in the Alien movie, which took place, I don't even know how many years afterwards. I feel like it was like 200 years or something like that. I'm probably totally wrong. Don't quote me on that timeline. If you know below, comment down below if you know how many years Prometheus takes place before Alien. Just comment down there. I don't really remember right now. But that was like one of the negative aspects that people hated about the film. Was just like they have so much technology that like didn't really get mirrored in Alien, but yet in Romulus, like comparing the two technologies from that movie and then its sequel, like they're pretty much on par with each other. It's not too advanced. It's advanced a little bit more than what we see in Alien, but it's not like super advanced to what it was in Prometheus. Like Prometheus had just like some like the wildest, craziest shit, like that full 3D rendered room at the very beginning that like Wayland's walking through. It's just wild. Not really lots happening in the game here. Just to kind of like give you a recap, the Cerberus station, or that the Pioneer station, has initiated Protocol Cerberus, so it's about to nuke the entire planet from orbit, and we have to shut down Cerberus before it does that. So it's pretty much just like what we're doing here. Not really a lot of action happens until we get to the second portion of the station there. But yeah, going back to Dark Descent, this game's hard. It's good. It creates a great atmosphere, but like, holy fuck, like, this video's probably going to be roughly an hour long, and I cut that out of 4.5 hours of footage of just like dying, loading, dying, reloading some more, dying. Like, oh, a little jump scare right there. Like, actually I had to not like abandon the mission, but evac, go heal my Marines up. Days later, come back again to try to do it, because I was just getting rocked. You walk into a room, it's filled with eggs and facehuggers, so you got to kill all those. That alerts more aliens, and then they just come flying at you. You go into a different room after you kill those, you alert a guard, then they send more hunts, and then more Xenos are coming after you. It's just like non-stop barrage of like attacks upon attacks. Like this one, I probably initiated like 4 or 5 onslaughts that just like completely wiped me out. Like, in this game, don't be stingy with your resources. Take everything. Like, I'm playing on medium difficulty, and like it feels like I'm playing on fucking hard mode, like hardcore. Like, you just get punished, and the game knows it's going to punish you, because it literally gives you a warning at certain points, like, hey, be prepared, because this next part's really hard and you're probably going to die, like a lot. Like, I'm surprised they don't have a difficulty that says you die a lot, then you uninstall the game out of rage. Like, it's one step down from being that crazy and that like difficult. Like, I'd hate to see what hard mode is. Maybe one day I'll revisit this game on hard mode once I get good, but right now medium's enough for me. Medium's like super crazy. It's super crazy in this game. So that's pretty much like Prometheus in a nutshell. Then like the one part about like Prometheus that like I really wish they would have kept in was you can find the script online. Oh, cutscene. One sec. Alright, here we go. Now we get into some action finally. There's this, you can find a script online. I don't know if it's like an official script or if it was a draft or if it was stuff they cut out. But you can find the conversation between David, the engineer, and Wayland that talks about how like they sent one of their own to Earth to like guide the beings that they created, and they're pretty much saying that that this engineer that they sent to Earth was just like they didn't come right out and say it, but they're pretty much saying that it was like a religious figure that we ended up crucifying, and is just very, like, I can understand, like, why they cut it, because it's, like, very controversial, but, like, if you're going to go all in and say that, like, aliens created human life and go from that aspect, like, your film's already controversial. Like, you might as well just go all in and just, like, tell a good story, as opposed to, like, having 50 different pieces hacked apart and then just thrown in together to make some kind of a movie because you spent money on it. And also that timeline also completely doesn't make any sense either. There's like a few things that they kind of forgot that they did already. So like Whalen's in that movie and then he dies. But then if you watch like Alien versus Predator, like the first one from, I don't even remember, sometime in 2000, like Whalen gets killed in the Predator hunting ground temple. He like gets like the Scar Predator just like cuts his like stabs his claws through his chest, and then his wrist blade through his chest. And they had like CGI some blood in the uncut version just like running down his lip, and it was just like one of like the 2 bloody scenes in the movie. So it's just like, if you've already killed Whalen, how can you kill Whalen again in the future? So like that really kind of didn't make any sense. But like AVP kind of wasn't really a good movie anyways. They took 2 rated R franchises and they threw them together in a max PG-13 movie, depending on the region that you're in. So like we can talk about Alien versus Predator a different day, because like I'm a fan of both franchises, and like I read the comics growing up and played the Capcom arcade beat 'em up button masher Alien versus Predator, and that AVP movie they gave us was shit. People hated Requiem, but I thought Requiem was better because it was actually rated R and violent. Like completely like it was a dark movie, not like in the sense of like its tone, just like the lighting, like it was dark. Like somebody forgot to turn the lights on during production and they said, we've already filmed 3/4 of the movie in pitch black, so we might as well just finish it. So like, yeah, like going back to like Prometheus, and then if you look at Alien 3, especially the director's cut, which I think the director's cut of Alien 3 is a far more superior film than the theatrical cut, because it makes things, it explains a lot more, as opposed to just like random cuts like throughout the entire movie. So at the very end of it, Eddie, his name's like 85 or 85 or whatever that company man is, he has this like big kind of wrench and he hits the Bishop style character and like just like almost takes his ear off of his head and he's like bleeding, and he like yells out like, "I'm not a robot," when like Ripley thought that it was another model like Bishop, and he's just like, "No, I'm human." And it's just like, if you look at Alien versus Predator, Lance Hendrickson, who plays Bishop, plays Whalen, the human, so all of the Bishop androids were modeled after Whalen, and then at the end of the movie, Whalen's still alive, so it's just like, the guy's already died twice in the entire franchise storyline. So I think somebody either wanted to pretend like Alien 3 didn't happen, or, you know, somebody just made like an error in like what was happening. They can totally pretend like Alien versus Predator didn't happen. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, somebody needs to redo Alien versus Predator and actually do it justice and make it rated R and make it violent as fuck and with like blood spraying everywhere, because it's just like, you've got one species that explodes out of people's chest cavities, and then you have another species that rips out people's spines and skulls for trophies. Like, you kind of can't get around not having blood spraying everywhere when you kind of have those two species fighting, especially when you throw the human element into it. Like, I'm pretty sure the tagline from that movie was like, "Whoever wins, we lose." And then a lot of people were saying it's just like, whoever sees this movie, they lose. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's kind of rough. But if you haven't watched Prometheus, like, watch Prometheus. Even though I pretty much gave you the entire plot and some spoilers, like, it's still a great flick. It's still a fun ride. It's an interesting take, and it's an interesting direction to kind of expand the Xenomorph lore, expand the mythos of the universe, and kind of bring like another character to light, which was the engineers that a lot of people wanted to know more about, that space jockey, which they talked a lot about them. Now Romulus also kind of didn't really talk too much about Covenant, but I feel as soon as you start mentioning the black goo, and when Ash the robot, which, like, I thought, what was his name, Ian Keller, I think that was the actor that played him. I thought asking the relatives to receive their blessings to have him do a CGI and puppet cameo in the movie was fantastic, because, like, that was, if you watch Alien Resurrection, every year there's like a model of android, and like it would make sense that Ash was the science officer model android for that time period before the next model came out, and then so on, and then so on, and then so on. And also too, like, if you look at every movie, Bishop got 2 movies. He was in Aliens and Alien 3. The android David, he got 2 movies from Prometheus and Covenant. Ash is the only synthetic that never got 2 movies, so like he definitely deserved the second movie. And people were saying that it was unnecessary, and they also like attacked the poor quality CGI, but I thought it was a fantastic idea to put him in there. And when they're talking about how he was able to take the xenomorph, the pathogen, from the xenomorph, like isolating it in the blood or like in its tissue, and was able to like reverse engineer it into like the facehuggers, and then into down to like the pathogen, and kind of experiment with that pathogen. And then you can see like the mutation that it did for like the rat, which like I really would have liked to see them do the back burster that was from Covenant. I thought it would have been fantastic if they would have had to go up against one of those as well too. But them talking about like engineering the pathogen and able to like reverse engineer the xenomorph from the first movie, which like the production team dubbed it Big Chap, reverse engineering its evolution down to the facehugger, and then creating an entire lab full of xenomorphs. Like that right there is kind of like a subtle Easter egg nod to like Alien Covenant, because that's initially what David did, is through his what did he call himself? Not like a zoologist, but like he was studying different like animals, and then like crossbreeding the pathogen strain with like his holy fuck, aliens, calm, slow your roll. I'm trying to tell a story here. Well, we gotta heal up here quickly. Oh fuck, I'm about to die. Okay, good. Okay, heal this other person. Go on. Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, well, we're not too good a shape here. We're probably gonna die soon, and I'll probably have to reload and cut this part out. But we're gonna keep going. So like in Alien Covenant, for those of you that haven't seen it, like spoilers, we're gonna get into this. It's somewhat of a sequel. Well, it is a sequel to Prometheus and a prequel to Alien, but it follows the crew of the Covenant that are going to a different planet to establish a colony on it and kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily start afresh, but like they're looking to colonize another planet. They pick up the beacon from Elizabeth Shaw's engineer ship that crashes on the planet, and then they go to investigate it, and they find like wheat and other kind of things there, and they start doing their science-y kind of stuff and checking to see if it's habitable, and they're planning on just like living there and establishing the colony there, because there was like an incident with the cryopods to where like the captain he died, which was like James Franco. He had like the shortest role ever in a movie. He had like 4 lines, and then he exploded into flames within like the first, I don't know, 7.5 minutes of the movie. So then like there's like no signs of like wildlife anywhere, so it's like a quiet planet. And then they start like activating these spores, and the spores start like going into like ears and up noses, and people start getting sick, and then the little neomorphs come out, and shit starts hitting the fan, and then David saves them, and he's got like another android there that looks like David called Walter. He's an upgraded model. So through just like them getting to know David more and more and more, David starts like acting like Walter and talking to Walter, and getting to know more about what's happening. And like you see that like David has been like categorizing and dissecting all these different animals, and you see that he's creating some kind of egg. And then he was talking about how the pathogen is very like mutagenic in its profile and its nature. We have an onslaught coming in, so we might die here again too. I might have to cut all this part out, find a checkpoint. So let's get this onslaught done. Okay, let's see if I can get this sentry gun up before this onslaught comes in, because there's going to be a lot of Xenos running in here. Hopefully they don't send any like Praetorians or Chargers, because I don't have the health. I don't have the med kits to kind of deal with this here. So let's focus on getting this done for a second. Okay, phew. Okay, perfect. We lived that. Okay, that's great news. Fantastic. So Covenant is more of an origin story of the Xenomorph, and it really comes down to from the first movie, and especially this one, you can see that David hates Wayland. He hates the human race. The human race has been nothing but disrespectful to him, like treating him, honestly, it's just like the way he's treated is it makes David really start to resent human beings. So he's on a mission to literally eradicate all of them. he was the translator for the engineer, the space jockey that killed Whalen. And then in the second one, he literally is creating something, the perfect organism, to just like kind of wipe out mankind. And he even says to Walter at one point that he's just like, I'm not going to give them the chance to restart on a brand new planet. So, when David was created, he was created to just be a like legit like a person. He didn't have any of those like safety protocols that like the other ones had. Like, he was just there to be obedient, but he didn't really have, he still had free will in a sense, because you see him do like some like crazy shit that that none of the other androids would do. Like Bishop, like you could tell that he was just like, what did he say? Bishop said, I cannot harm a human or through actions allow a human to be harmed, which that protocol is definitely put into place, because in Romulus, Aliens Romulus, they literally, this is synthetic that let 3 people die so 12 people could live. And they're like, I didn't think synthetics could do that, could harm people. Well, if it's them saving more and sacrificing 3, then they can do that. So I feel like through just like lore and morals and good conscience, that like they had to put that protocol in place. But David, he doesn't have any of those, and you can really see in Covenant that he really has his own agenda, and his agenda is just like the mass genocide of like the human race. And he's been manipulating this black goo and altering it to breed this life form. And he actually creates, I think there's like 4 eggs in the cave, but he creates all these eggs in the cave that require a human host to grow. So he literally created like the first facehuggers, and then like through that right there, it implants that embryo, and it creates that new life form, the Xenomorph. And it was right then and there that David is really, he even states that he's just like, his work has been very stale. It's been missing something, because he's legit the only one on that planet. He's killed the rest of the planet. He's killed the inhabitants there. He's killed the engineers with the black goo. He said that like the payload misfire, but you see a scene of him actually releasing the payload. So he's killed everybody on that planet. And now he's just there. And he even said it's just like idle hands are like the devil's plaything. So he's just there manipulating. Okay, see that the game is so hard, it's telling me that I'm about to die here if I'm not good. This part right here, I literally had to abandon it, take a break, leave, get my Marines all healed up, come back and try again, because it was at the point of where it's just like frustration wasn't even setting in. It was just like hopelessness was setting in, to where it's just like, I don't even know if I'm going to beat this game. Like, it is beating me down so much that I had to take a break. But let's enjoy this action. We'll get back to Covenant in a second.
Incoming. Using the vents to bypass the kill zone. Watch your backs. Grenade! Yeah, don't mess with me. I don't like that. Good work, Marines. Looks like we've got a few minutes.
Alright, so we survived that right there. As you can see, I had to set up 5 sentry guns. I did have 6 up there, but when I left, the aliens destroyed all my sentry guns. I didn't have the resources to repair them. So when you're doing this part of the game, if you choose to play through it, brain all the sentry guns you can, set them up, go grab the other ones, set up the rest, and use all your sentry guns, and then take the ones with you that you can. But Alien Covenant really answered the question of who designed the Xenomorphs, like where'd they come from. The Xenomorphs were literally an experiment of a rogue synthetic that didn't want to give the human race a new chance to start over. So through gene manipulation and science, it was the synthetic David that created the Xenomorphs. It's like a lot of people ask, like, where do they come from? And there's I've seen a couple of videos online where people ask where they come from, and I just like think to myself, it's like, did you not watch Alien Covenant? Like, it literally shows that David created the synthetics, or not the synthetics, the Xenomorphs. Like, a synthetic created the Xenomorphs. Oh, fuck, we have another onslaught coming. Oh, boy. Well, we better use these sentry turrets that I just picked up, which I'm super thankful that I did. So, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, they were supposed to be the first 2 parts of a trilogy. One of the names of the movie for the 3rd prequel was going to be Alien Cult, which, like, I understand the name because at the end of Covenant you see that David has access to all of the colonists that are still in their cryotubes sleeping, and David puts a bunch of facehugger embryos. He puts 2 facehugger embryos into the the embryo cryogenic kind of thing, cooler, I guess, to maybe like create more. Oh, we're just gonna keep firing grenades in here. Fuck, there's so many coming in here. Good thing is they're gonna go after the sentry turrets first, and you're just gonna be able to slow them down with these static field grenades. Okay, good, we survived that one too. So to recap, Prometheus was the engineer story that created the black goo. That was kind of the answer to who created life. And then the sequel, Covenant, was David creating the Xenomorph through manipulation and mutation of the black goo. And those are like the 2 crucial things that like Romulus includes as a sequel to the Alien movie, is they still pay respects to it without touching too heavily upon it, but not completely erasing everything that was established before it. So going back to like the sequel to Covenant, it was something like one of the names they were throwing around with, it was like Alien Cult. They didn't really get, there wasn't like a script or any kind of really ideas that I remember reading about, but I would still really like to see the continuation of that story, whether it be through, like, I don't know, like a Disney Plus 1 hour kind of short, even if they did like something animated, or even if there's like a comic line that continues on with it. Like, I'd like to see kind of like David and the planet, he could either be like ripped in half, or like have one of his arms torn off because he is missing a hand. It really, I don't know how they would do with like David there, or whether he'd be like fully functional and just kind of sitting there, but it would be nice to see Vergon, I think, was the planet they were going to. I don't really quite remember the name of the planet, but it'd be nice to see if they continue on that story where they're on the planet and that planet is what turns into like the Xenomorph homeworld. Because if you read any of the books like Alien, Earth Hive, I think is the name of the book. There's a I think there's three books in that trilogy, and it talks about how Earth is overrun with the Xenomorph, Whalen Yutani. From what I remember, like they actually got their hands on the Xenomorph, but like it escaped and completely killed everybody on Earth, and all the leftover human population, they are on different planets throughout the galaxy. Like they've literally just been living in space now, and they go to the alien homeworld and capture the Super Queen, which is the mother of all aliens. They put it on Earth, and they have these like nuclear weapons that the Super Queen attracts all the Xenomorphs to, and they detonate all these nuclear weapons, and it doesn't really say if like it wipes out all the Xenomorphs, but like all of the Xenos are drawn towards the Super Queen, and then they like detonate these like nuclear weapons, and like it wipes them out. But like it'd be nice to see them kind of take the Covenant storyline where it ended and pick it right back up. They'd probably just do some kind of like bullshit where it's like a ship is... David sends a message saying that like, oh, the colony is established, like please you can send like the rest of the people, like it's perfect here. And by the time that new ship gets there with a bunch of new people and new cast members, and literally just more like chest burster fodder to make more like violent, gory scenes, the new alien homeworld would already be established, and it was more kind of like they would have to use. It'd just be like legit like a fight for survival. Like their ship would probably get like damaged or something, because like there's always a way for the ship to get damaged or for them to get stranded there. So then they'd have to go into the Covenant ship, and they'd have to get the escape pods jettisoned and get back to their colonist ship, and then like it would be another cliffhanger where it'd be like another part of the storyline that wouldn't be tied up, or like they could just do something completely different, and they could just have everybody like just die, all of the characters just like die in that planet there, and it just be like a never-ending like feeding ground of more colonists showing up, and more just kind of being turned into more and more like Xenomorph spawn. And it could also be like one of these fun things where like the toy company Kenner, they created all these different like the different toys. Like there's like a bull alien, and a gorilla alien, and like a scorpion alien, and a snake alien. So like it'd be actually kind of like fun to see something different, like a different strain of Xenomorph, because the only one that we've ever got to see was in Alien 3, and depending on if you watch the theatrical version, it comes from a dog. But if you watch the director's cut, it actually comes from a cow. So just depending on which one you watch, like it's either a dog or a cow. But like they kind of call it like the runner alien, which like it runs pretty fast. So like it'd just be like really fun to kind of just like see them just like really play more into it. Like there's so many storylines from just like different books, different comic storylines that like Disney could do, and it's just like if you don't want to make any more like live action movies, which with like how well Romulus was received, I'm pretty sure they will make more live action movies, because there is a TV series coming to Hulu, I think. Like there's that TV series coming, so it's just like if you don't want to do any more like live action ones, like there's a lot of different kind of like animation styles that you can do, like Love, Death and Robots. They could do like an animation style like that, maybe not do a like a full storyline, but like maybe do like 45-minute kind of like different stories. Oh boy, okay, here we go, another death part. Maybe do like a bunch of different stories. Let's see what happens here.
Looks like we found our queen. Right in the middle of the synth's maintenance center. Guess I confirmed your theory on the creatures, Hayes. They're not even bothered by the androids. Incoming synths, watch out. Grenade! Check your vitals. Tango down. Grenade! We have to go back. It's suicide.
Face it! We're doomed! You want to play rough, huh?
Changing hands. Game over! Grenade!
Oh boy, that was super intense. Oh, literally had to do that entire battle in the slow-mo. There's no way I would have survived that if we didn't have the slow-mo happening. Okay, let's go collect this. This is something new. Okay, we still have some more synthetics around here. Oh. Nanotech blueprint found, okay. Yeah, like the going back to like the whole like movie ideas, there's a lot that they could do with it. It just really kind of depends on how much Disney wants to put into the Alien franchise, where it's like I think they really got a really successful movie with Romulus, to where some people said it's just like we've already seen that movie. It was no different than what Alien was. Yes and no. Like we might have already seen that movie, but you know, there's a lot of the newer generation, like the younger viewers that haven't seen the original Alien movie. So for them, like, this is their first kind of like experience and a new beginning for them. Like, one of my buddies, they had never seen any of the Alien movies before, and we went in to see Romulus. Like, yeah, I saw it for a second time because that's how much I loved it. And they went home and they found a way to get like all the Predator movies, all the Alien movies, just because like they want to watch them all now, because they have never experienced the originals. So this was their first introduction to the Xenomorph, to like the Weyland-Yutani universe. So it's really exciting that Alien Romulus is going to be introducing a bunch of new people to it. But yeah, I would love to see them do like a Love, Death, and Robots, like maybe do oh geez, these aliens just start letting up. You know, and got a lot of health packs, so I should be okay here. Oh yeah, okay, let's pick up all this gear here. But like a series in the style of Love, Death, and Robots, like little stories that you can like wrap up in 45 minutes. Like, I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe focus more on maybe more like company people, like focus on maybe like the experiments that Ash did to like reverse bioengineer the Xenomorph, like project it like into the far future, because you know, with the like there was just one ship on what was it, LV-421, I think was the plan, LV-427. There's only one ship, and there's a lot of other ships out there that have like the Xenomorph eggs on them. So there's a lot of different directions that they can go with it. Like, they can project it so far into the future that it doesn't really have to do anything with the there's another alien. With the original storyline, they can just do something like completely different. Like, they don't have to do an origin story. They can already have it established to where like they know about them, and it's like they're running from it. Have it where like a world is overrun by Xenomorphs. Have it where like Weyland is experimenting on a planet that they found kind of like an egg chamber. A bunch of like dormant eggs that they released, and now they're doing experimentations on it. Like, there's so much stuff that they can do with it. It just really depends on if Disney like really wants to take a chance with like creating more and more movies, which like I really hope they do in the future. So it's a franchise that oh, here comes the Charger. Let's we'll just grenade him to death and let's hope for the best. Like, the Alien franchise is one that I love. That's what I was just saying. Is I love the franchise, love all the games, the whole art style of it as well too. Is it's really fantastic, and I really hope we get to see more new games. Oh, I don't have any grenades left. He's just gonna mow me down. I might die here. This is going to be a terrible way to end this mission if I die here. Oh. Oh, don't kill that person. Run. Oh, okay, phew, okay. Okay, we didn't die here and we got him down. We're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, I have no ammo. Okay, but we can at least patch You can't at least patch people up here. Okay, no health packs, no ammo. So, you've got your pistol, you've got your pistol. The sidearms have unlimited ammo. Oh, sorry, yawn right there. Sidearms have unlimited ammo, so that's really good. You know what? You can see me. I need to go this way. We'll just kill him. Okay, open this door, please. Oh, geez. That person was full health. Oh, no. Shotgun? 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 Okay. Oh, what? Oh, you're unconscious? Okay. Looks like I'm carrying you. Oh, okay, let's... Okay, there's the elevator. Okay, let's get down here. Okay, so there's our APC. We can get out of here. We can make this. All right, everybody. As we get to this APC, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my Alien talk, my recaps of the movies, where I'd like to hopefully see them take the franchise. As a huge fan, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Click the like button, comment down below, turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of Facehugger Friday. And as always, everyone, don't get face hugged, don't get a chest burster, and stay scared. We'll be back with more.
It's quiet. Too quiet.